Welcome to UNT Unplugged. I'm your host, Scott Ellis, and I am here with, he's just got one name like Prince. We're going to call him Habib. Welcome to the show, Habib. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk a little bit about what you do with UNT and an event that you have coming up today.
Sure. I teach Advanced Data Analytics and Advanced Data Analytics program at UNT Frisco. And I'm here for the Open Data Day, or DFW Open Data Day we are hosting in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. So we're going to talk about that in just a minute. But I want to start a little bit just by way of what you do at UNT. And that, so you're an associate professor?
I'm an assistant professor.
Assistant professor.
Yes.
And you teach advanced data and analytics?
So I teach a bit of stats and a bit of data visualization and some basic codings here and there, big data infrastructure and data engineering.
Very cool. So my wife is actually taking your class right now. And I would not define her as a quantitative type of a quote-unquote quant necessarily, but she's getting a lot out of it, and I think she's enjoying it, albeit maybe a little bit of frustration at times, but fortunately she's got a technology person there to help her out once in a while.
She mentioned you many times in the class.
I do try to keep her sane with that respect, but no, it sounds like an interesting course, and it's definitely the kind of thing that I would be interested in taking. So if somebody is interested in learning more about data science in general, and they're interested in this master's course at UNT, what do they have to look forward to? What are they going to learn while they're there?
So first of all, this program is a master program. You need to have a bachelor degree to apply to it. It's a very flexible, open type of program where it's mainly geared toward practitioners, so people who are working full time. And we teach multiple topics, so you will get introduced to many areas within data science, and then you will take it from there to develop yourself further and maybe get an internship or work in an industry in that area. So if you're changing careers, or if you are interested in just learning about this area within IT or within computer science, this is your place. Again, this program is meant to be for practitioners, so not that much requirements or different courses to prerequisites. We go through the basic details for each of the single course. Most of the courses are hybrid and in 8-week type of courses. So it's a bit condensed, but it's to the point and to give you the head start with any of the topics we have.
I think it's cool that you guys have this at UNT because in all of the different companies I've worked with, data science and data scientists are becoming a pretty hot commodity right now.
Yes.
People that can figure out how to get their arms wrapped around all the big data that's being produced, and then actually go and make some kind of sense out of it so that the business can make decisions is just more and more in demand. I don't think that's going away anytime soon. So definitely something I would encourage people to think about if they're interested in that kind of thing.
Yeah, the program is super cool. We have groups from all walks of life in the program, and you will learn multiple things. Again, you get out of your comfort zone, that's for sure.
That's good.
Many topics and many things you need to learn, but I think it gives you the basics to start with, and it will accept any students from different backgrounds. We have from stats, chemistry, to business, to even healthcare. So,
good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's change gears and talk a little bit about the event that's coming up, because that's really what we're here to discuss today. So why don't you tell us what is the event and when's it happening, and we'll go from there.
Let's start what is open data. So open data is the government data that's available for you for free. To give you a basic example, now everybody is using GPS. GPS is started as an open data where the whole system started to be open for public after it started with the military. Then now everybody uses it. So similarly, now government are publishing their data about all operations. You can think about from inspection, restaurant inspections, where Yelp is using that data to tell you this place is nice, or this place is clean, and this is the rating for the inspection for this place. This is all open. If you're using even Google Maps today, you're using open data in another way, because cities are publishing their construction, their permitting, and all this information, where other companies are scooping that information and embed it within their system. If you do tax or if you do charities, many of those industry also are using a lot of open data to understand and to analyze the systems and what's available and what's in there and how people interact and so on. So we are in this event trying to promote the use of open data through our work with the cities. So we have this year City of Dallas, City of Frisco, hopefully Arlington as well, the North Central Texas Council of Government. They're all coming together to present a challenge It's a hackathon event, so they present a challenge,
Okay.
and everybody there try to pick a challenge. We'll have multiple ones, and sometimes some groups come up with their own challenge as well, because the open data portals are available, and it holds a lot of data in there. So you can bring your own challenge, your own data set, and even your team, and work in there in a nice environment where everybody is encouraged to learn and practice and make sense of what's the data. So we are trying to do good with our knowledge in information technology overall, or coding. Now, this event is not only for coders and not only for geeks. This event is built to be for general public. So if you're interested about data and you want to learn more, you can attend the event. We have a couple of workshops going on to the side of the event. You will get to learn how to do something, how to use the Open Data Portal. What is the portal? What do they publish in there? How can I benefit from it in my business, either real estate, or you're in the restaurant business, or any other businesses, or even individual, you want to follow up on your government, local government, and see what they are doing and learn more about what's happening in there. We will show you tools and tricks and different things to evaluate or follow up on what's available in their Open Data Portal.
Wow. That is interesting, because I think a lot of folks don't realize how much data is available to them to use for free. And the government, publishes a lot of data and a lot of content even that's free for you to go out and use on your own. I know this isn't really data specifically, but one example is a lot of the, if not all of the images that NASA captures. You can go out there, you can download those, you can use them, because quite frankly, as a taxpayer, you've already paid for them. Yes. And so governments open up a lot of that data. I didn't know about the GPS, although that makes sense. I've used some GIS data in the past. Sure. And it's geologic something or other.
Geographical information.
Thank you very much. In some 3D rendering I did, where we were creating landscapes, and you can actually go out and download data that will allow you to render, the Grand Canyon or something like that. They've got the data for that, so it's interesting.
Tons of data sets are available from each of the local governments here participating with us, and other government agencies as well. We have the county, hopefully will be with us as well. So different groups are coming with different challenges. They want to prototype or proof of concept, or check what can you do with such a available data sets. Or sometimes they have a challenge in, let's say, in transportation this year, and we have this challenge with transportation. We have the data. Can you do anything with it? Can you predict? Last year we had, in this building, we had an event which is Hack North Texas, and we had a data set about, from Waze traffic for DFW area. We have a team who won that event, did machine learning algorithm to predict traffic or accidents within the traffic areas. That was, of course, it's a small event, so the things are just prototyped. It's not fully functional.
Sure.
But it gave them an idea of what can be done with this, and I think the COG themselves now took it from there, and they're developing different models to support the available operation they have. So we are prototyping the technology, or what's available, what can you do with this, how can you benefit from this data set. And if you're also an entrepreneur and you want to build on it or do something with it, you're looking for a team or looking for inspiration, this is one of the events to get you inspired in that area.
It sounds like an awesome event. Now, it's got me thinking up, like, what are things I could be doing challenges I could come and pose. Is the open data published in a common format, and part two, if somebody wants to work with that data, is there a language that is preferred for manipulating it or generating reports, things like that?
Very good question. So first, the open data portals where the city put their data. So it's an online portal. You go there and you will see their data sets. Usually those data sets are updated frequently, either every day, every week, depends on the data set. Then the data sets are there in non-proprietary format. So they're usually CSV text files, so you can download them, do anything you want to do with them. And again, the rights for using it's open, so you can use it, reuse it, redistribute it, use it in your application or whatever you want to do in your business, and that's open for you. So no question asked. So you don't need to ask anybody for permission. You don't need to follow up with any agencies or anybody to download the dataset. You can actually link to the dataset through the APIs. So if you know what you're doing, you can mainly link to those datasets and benefit from them within your business without go and open everything by yourself. That's what other companies are doing when they build on top of open available datasets.
Okay. And what about languages for working with those datasets? Is there anything particular that...
No. It's open, so once you download the dataset, it's up to you what to do with it. We mentioned GIS, for example. If you're a GIS person and you want to do some analysis on the GIS system, that's open for you. If you want to download a text file for a class project, let's say for our students, that's open. You can use it and try to find a use for that or do a project with it. I have a couple of students who've been working with open data with me for the past couple of years. That's their either thesis or dissertation project, and many classes in UNT and in other university have used that within their classes.
Okay, very interesting. I know one of the languages that does pop up a lot, and I'm drilling down on this a little bit because it's of interest to me personally, is Python, correct? Isn't that pretty common for?
Yes, so Python and R.
Yeah.
And I need to say also Excel sheets. So
Okay.
those are open. So if you're just good in Excel, you can do a lot of things in Excel.
That's true. Excel is a super powerful tool. I think, a lot of us use it in a very basic manner relative to what it's capable of.
So it doesn't matter if you're as fancy as going into models and building models in your Python or your machine learning neural networks to do something. That's good. That's really cool. Or even if you're learning and you're doing just basic Excel or doing other, even if you're not technical at all. So we have a team who showed up 2 years ago in one of the events, and they're totally not technical. And they said, hey, what do we do in such an event? So they brainstormed a challenge by themselves, and they decided the Open Data Portal is not easy to understand. At that time, we had Denton as our main challenge, and we hosted the event for about 5 years earlier in Denton. Now we are moving to make it DFW Open Data Day. So they said, oh, the portal doesn't have a video, if I'm intimidated with a number of data sets. So they decided to make a video introducing the Open Data Portal for the city. And we worked with the city later on after a couple of months now that video is still hosted as an introduction for the Open Data Portal for City of Denton.
Do you remember the name of that video? Is it on YouTube?
It's on the website. So if you go to the data.cityofdenton.com in About Us, it explains what is the portal. You will have the link for YouTube for the people who made that link available.
Excellent. Again, that's
cityofdenton.com.
Cityofdenton.com. Okay. Are there other links that you know off the top of your head, places that people can go to look at some of the data sets that are out there?
The easiest, which is data.gov. That's the U.S. Open Data Portal.
That is easy.
And again, City of Dallas, if you Google any city almost today, and you just say data, the name of the city, regardless of their domain, because domains change and some of them use .gov, some of them .com, others. But anyhow, if you just Google it with the data or Open Data Portal, you will see their portal. Then once into the portal, you will see what your city is offering, and some of them do a call for action. I will do a shout out for Austin because this is one of the very good open data portals available. Ton of information, ton of even research and things happening in there. Lots of cool systems in the back end too. You can see so many things from scooters and movement and cars to even trash and or collection and all the whole 9 yards is available in City of Austin. So that's in Texas, and they're doing very well. So pop up in there and see what's in that website. How can you use it, either for a class, for a business, whatever you like.
Interesting.
Journalism.
Do you have an example of using it in journalism?
Yeah, so I'll give you a very nice, tricky example in City of New York. So one of the journalists, or at least a guy in City of New York, looked at the traffic citations for a specific traffic citation he used to get in a very specific area. Then he narrowed that down that this type of traffic citation only happens in only certain spots. And there is no signage. The right signage is not in there, and the right color coding is not in there for that specific citation. So he rallied within the city. He presented all his finding through the Open Data Portal, which is the data he found, and then that's been changed since then. So not only reporting things and looking at how the government is operating and what's going on in there, but also you can make a change and you can promote what's the change you want to do, because you have the evidence and you have supporting evidence from the city data to support you and to back you up on rallying for your cause.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah. So they probably put up the correct signage so that they can keep writing citations.
Yes.
Okay, so when is the event this year?
So the event is on March 7th at UNT Frisco.
Yeah, so it's coming up quick.
Yes.
And is it at one of the Hall Park locations, or is it here in Inspire Park?
In Hall Park.
In Hall Park, okay.
Yes.
What do people need to know if they want to register, take part, just come out and check it out?
Google DFW Open Data Day. We have dfwopendataday.com
Okay.
as well. We have Eventbrite event, so you can just RSVP there. The event is free, and we will have, of course, food as well. So show up, bring your laptop. Don't come without your laptop because we can't do anything without it. So bring your laptop, computer, or whatever you want to work on. If you have an idea, that will be great. If you don't, just show up that day and you will see what we have, the challenges coming from the city, the partnering city with us. And I'm sure you will get to know a lot of people and you get to network with them. It's a fun day doing coding or fun day doing good with your skills.
And what time does it start?
So we'll start at 9 up to 4.
Okay.
So it's almost half a day with a couple of breaks, and
Yep.
it's a laid back type of environment. So you will get into teams after we present the challenges. We get into teams. Each team work on their challenge. Then at the end of the day, we wrap up and they present their findings. And usually we have a sponsor to sponsor some of the giveaways in there. So that just make it fun, and people will walk out with some nice stuff with their hands too.
I love it.
Yeah.
And are there any challenges you know of already that people are bringing that you can talk about? If you can't, that's okay. I just thought I'd ask.
Yes, so we are working with City of Dallas and hopefully DART and the other cities to make it more of transportation challenge.
Okay.
So we might end up having with a really good data set about transportation movement and tracking within the city or neighboring cities. And the challenge will be how to utilize this information. What can you do out of it? Maybe we'll have a specific question on certain data sets between public transportation and private transportation. How can we do multimodal transportation? What type of challenges we have? We can also aggregate, or hopefully we might aggregate some of the accidents and the traffic accidents and how to evaluate the causes with the accidents and maybe make an action list to help support reducing that number of accidents.
Fantastic. Yeah, it seems like traffic, whether it's Dallas, Frisco, or anywhere in between, is becoming more and more and more of an issue and a topic that people are wanting to and trying to tackle in different ways.
I think even better, now we have more data.
Yeah.
So think about Uber, Lyft, even the scooters. They're not only moving around. We have very specific data about them. And if you have this data now, you can do things with it. So this is a new area. It's a new promising area. Even the street fixtures nowadays are collecting data, and you can aggregate some of this data to know more and to make an informed decision about how you want to fix it or what are you going to do. That wasn't available before, so this is a big difference between today and a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I love it. I know in some of the conversations we've had in Frisco, and I've heard Mayor Cheney allude to this several times, in that, once upon a time the thinking was if there's more traffic, we just need more roads, we need more lanes, we need to expand all of that. And quickly learned that adding more lanes just means more lanes of congestion. Like there's a highway, I think, in China that's something ridiculous, like 20 lanes wide, and it's still just packed with traffic all the time. And that clearly was not the solution they were looking for. So they're looking at innovative ways of how we get people moving around inside of the city of Frisco, just to alleviate some of the traffic headache that already exists.
Yeah, they say build it and people will come.
And they do, at least when it comes to roads, for sure. So
yeah, so there are other things we can do from analyzing this data to looking what's in there to looking at the street. So I have a student is analyzing data from city of San Francisco or in California area, the Bay Area. And we have a ton of data from sensors, from the cars, from the DOT as well. And he's doing different prediction model using CNNs in predicting what are the causes and how can you elevate even rerouting situations and how rerouting affect other roadways. So having the data is the first start to improve the process and see what we can do. And it's again trial and error. So those events will help prove a concept or build something that wasn't before. I'll give you another example from last year in Dallas. We have a group who came up to the event. We had a couple of challenges, but they came with their own. They live in downtown Dallas, and they're always annoyed with having a lot of events in the area, especially with the American Airlines arena in there, and they live nearby. So they built Alexa skill to ask what are the events, when are the events are going on in Dallas in that area, and what's the traffic in that area, so they prepare themselves while they're going out or in the house.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So clever. Yeah, I love seeing the things that people do. You give them data and let them loose and see what they come up with. Some
That's the whole
interesting things.
promise from the event. So we're looking at something. It's not that specific. People are coming from different walks of life, and again, technical, non-technical, and they're all looking at what can we do with this? Can we improve it? What's the challenge? Or coming up with their own challenge if they want.
I love it. So we're going to welcome all these people to Frisco for DFW Data Day on March the 7th.
Yes.
Kicking off at 9 o'clock. So we'll link all this up in the show notes so you guys can easily find what you're looking for. Go out there, be sure to register, and hit that Eventbrite link and sign up, and we will see you on that Saturday.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Habib, thanks for joining us. It was a fun conversation, and thanks to all of you for tuning into UNT Unplugged. We'll talk to you next time.